Welcome to 615 Unplugged, where we explore the people, businesses, and stories that make Middle Tennessee what it is today and what it will be tomorrow. On this episode, we meet Julie Cowan, owner of Wildfire Merch, a screen printing shop offering custom t shirts, hoodies, and other items out of Mount Juliet. On today's show, Julie shares her journey of starting the screen printing business in 2019, navigating the challenges of COVID in 2020, the importance of building relationships with clients, and the lessons learned in hiring and business growth. But best of all, I think you'll enjoy the conversation around the significance of community support and maintaining a small town vibe in the face of rapid growth in Middle Tennessee. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy this conversation with Julie Cowan. Julie, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. Happy to have you on board. I know we kind of connected a little bit online and everything, and I'm excited
Yeah,
to have you guys on and talk about all the things that you guys are doing.
yeah,
But
for
before
sure.
we get started, I want to give you a little bit of a chance to introduce yourself to the listeners, a little bit about what you do, who you are, everything.
Oh gosh, I'm Julie. I own Wildfire Merch and Melon Ivy. It's a full production screen printing shop here in Mount Juliet on the Old Hickory line. We've been in business since 2019, so we've been in this area for a while. We work with a ton of small businesses, big bands, brands, kind of all of that. And then this year, I opened a plant shop, Wilson County's only like house plant shop, where we have like printed graphic shirts next door, like a full wall of like over 30 designs and house plants, house plant care, all the things. Kind of just give me something to do, fun, because sometimes this isn't fun, honestly. Like it's just 2 week turnaround times, cranking 24/7. So to be able to like go over to like a slice of heaven is definitely needed. But yeah, I love what we do. I mean, my husband and I started this together, and we've just been hustling since
And you said it was
2019.
from 2019?
Yeah, right before COVID.
Wow.
If Yeah, it was crazy. We were number 4 in the US for mask sales. So we printed like masks for all like the Starbucks. And then we were the first place you could get a mask. And when COVID first like really became a concern in Middle Tennessee, like I had people pulling up and all kinds of crazy stuff to get masks from us. One of our shirt manufacturers literally was like flying to LA to one of like the sewing warehouses, and they were taking shirt material and layering them, putting like metal wiring in it so you could like wash them and reuse them. But yeah, we ended up shipping all over the US to like different places that didn't have masks, and it was crazy. And then restaurants got on board, and yeah, that was crazy.
That was going to be my question. That was going to be my next question. Like how, starting in 2019, how did COVID affect you? But it sounds like it might have been kind of like a boom for you guys in terms of those sales,
Well,
or
we did a lot of masks. We did a lot of donated masks. And then really we started kind of the wave for the online fundraisers for local businesses. And then I think I saw a lot of other shops doing that as well all over the US. Just where we did like an online store. So people that were at home, maybe it was like a brewery or something, their shirts would be online. We would pick and ship them, and then give them a check at the end. So like places that had to shut their doors down, we like literally did it all on our end. So they were still getting, some sales for merch. And it was at no cost to them. It was literally just like share it to your followers. If people buy it, then at the end of the like little campaign, we'll just write you a check for what sold. And that helped a lot. I mean, it helped 2 businesses in one, helped us, and then the people that we were doing it for. And we did a lot of that. So, but it
that's
was just my
awesome.
husband and I in 2019 too. So it wasn't too, scary. We didn't have a full team. If we had our team that we have now, we have 7 people, like it would have been really scary, honestly.
Yeah, I can
But we got
imagine.
lucky. We've always gotten lucky, I think. So
That's
that's,
good. And
yeah.
so, how did you guys get into this line of business? Like, is this something that you guys like start from way
It
back
was
when,
a
or
thing.
how was that story?
This guy walking around back there with the mop bucket, like God, now I was telling people 7 years ago, it was like a decade ago, but now it's been close to 20 years ago. My husband bought like a single station, uh, like screen printing press, like to do like knockoff band shirts at home. Just a fun
Okay.
little hobby. He fixates on things and then he learns how to do it really well. That's what he's always done. But he did that. I think he printed one shirt or something like that, and just was always in the back of his head. And so, where he worked high up in a company for 17 years, he kind of just, you get that burnout of working for somebody else. And so we literally got married in 2018, or no, we got married in 2019, and then literally in January, and then in March we started our business. So it was like married, business, moved, then literally, so in March we started, in July we were in a storefront, and then we've been in a storefront, eat, sleeping, and breathing work together for over 7 years, the whole time we've been
And you guys
married.
are you originally from here or from somewhere else?
My husband's from Gordonsville, if you know where, like Carthage, Smith County area. It's like 30 minutes away from like Mount Juliet, Lebanon.
Okay.
And that's where my stepson still goes to school. And then my husband and I have a 2-year-old. He goes to school right here in Mount Juliet at the Reggio. Um, and that's another really good small business that was needed in this area. And then I'm from Gallatin. I was born in Gallatin, but I grew up in Florida. So I came back when I was like 17.
Wait, that's Florida, right? Or no?
Florida.
Yeah.
I grew
Oh,
up in
nice.
Florida and
That's awesome.
Ocala. It's like an hour north of Orlando.
Yeah,
Maybe like
yeah.
us to Nashville, kind of.
I'm originally from Florida too.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah. But
Cool.
all the way down south, Miami. So,
Yeah.
that's
That's
awesome. And
only been to
so,
Miami like twice. It's its own thing down there.
yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I often say that I don't consider it part of the US. It's its own
Mm-mm.
kind of
Yeah, it feels like you're on vacation when you're down there for sure.
its own unique culture for sure. Um, and so what are some of the things, right now, obviously you're dealing with a lot of different businesses, all of that stuff. What are some of the things that take us through like a typical day in the life of what you guys are doing there at Wildfire?
What I do, just my daily life, gosh, I mean, I wake up, get my child ready for school. We bring him to school, and then I come here. I get next door going. I get this. I have like 3 or 4 people that come in at 9. We already have like screens burnt for the jobs the next day. We always have the shirts stacked, stuff like that. So they all kind of just get it going on their own now, thankfully. But there's always like last minute rush orders that we say yes to. Like I do a lot of 24-hour turnaround times, like where there's just like 911s, like someone didn't say they wanted it by today. And so we're like pushing that to the top of the line so we don't miss their what they wanted. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much that. I mean, we just have a calendar that we work on, but we get some people that come in, they check out our showroom where we have like all of our shirts and stuff like that, or at least a good selection of what we can get. We can get pretty much anything. Look at swatches, stuff like that. Normally the embroidery machine's going, it's super loud. But yeah, everybody
Well,
just,
I'm glad it's not going today because I can actually hear you instead of
yeah,
seeing.
it's like,
Although I secretly do want to wonder how it would look if that machine was going behind you. Like that would be
yeah,
super.
I'll text my husband to go behind me and rotate it, but I just saw him walk.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So obviously, Middle Tennessee is growing really, really fast.
Yeah.
How have you seen that kind of reflect in your business?
I mean, we get a lot of startup businesses, coming for merch, and like I'm always happy to catch them before they go and have terrible experiences or and find like really like we find our people, and they just stick with us. Like I have a lot of the small businesses that like came to us in 2019 are still our clients. Like we really truly just care about the people. Like at the end of the day, it's shirts, like, but it's like the connections. Like I don't want to be miserable printing things that I don't want to print, like we find our niche, we find our people, and really it's just been really good quality has been our thing. Um, like most of the clients that we've held on to, they just know that our quality is like so good that they just, they're cool with waiting 3 weeks. They're cool with, or if I get it to them in a week, like they know I'll take care of them. If they had a strong in hands that they needed, we're going to hit it, whether it was 24 hours from when they reached out or 3 weeks from when they reached out. And so that's just like what we do. So we've found a few really good brands that we print for that keep us super busy. And then just the daily orders that come in. We do ship all over the US. So I get like random orders that we're shipping to New York or shipping to California. Or if we have like a big touring artist that we're split shipping like half of the order to Chicago or wherever. So it's just a good mix. And we've really started finding our people, especially with our rebrand. We rebranded in November of last year. So
Okay.
almost a year ago. And it's definitely helped. Just
How so?
finding more of the cool businesses. Our name was so long. We were Cedar City House of Print. We wanted to be in Lebanon, and then that didn't happen. We ended up on Lebanon Road in Mount Juliet, and so we tried to rock that name for a while, but at the end of the day, it was so many words. I'm just excited for our new name. It feels more like us. We're more into, cool
Nice.
brands and simplicity, really. So,
What are some of those, as you look back, what are some of those like little small decisions that maybe didn't seem big at the moment, but kind of like looking back, you can you can see, wow, that made a big difference of where we are today, or something like that.
gosh, so we started in our house, and then in like a few months we were in a storefront because I was just getting so many orders. My husband was still working, and then he would come home, we would print all night, and then you know I would handle all the stuff during the day while he was working, and then he again would come home that next night, and we'd work till 3 in the morning. So he was like killing himself. So literally in a few months we were like, we can just do it. We jumped head first. That's one thing that I've always told any. I just had another guy come in the shop the other day thinking about like starting a small business here in town, and like he was just asking me the same kind of questions, like what did you see that like, or like what kind of advice could you share? And I was like, dude, you just have to go for it. Like you have to just jump in head first, like especially in the small, like if you're working for yourself, you either have it or you don't. Like if you want to hustle, if you have hustle in your heart, then you are going to succeed. But if you don't, just like give it your all. If you try to do it half-assed, it's just not going to work. And I think that's one big thing that I try to stress to people is like, you just have to go all in. And that's what we did. And we just believed in ourselves and it worked. But a few things that I've seen, like, I wish I would have hired sooner. You try to do it all. I still try to do it all. I still try to micromanage, but you just have to like let go a little bit.
Yeah.
We're still so involved in, like, my husband and I are here in the shop every single day. Like we have to be, like, it's just in our DNA. Like all we want is just like good quality stuff to go out. And like, if you're not in it, you're not in it. So we don't have one of those types of businesses that you can just like step away from, if you truly, truly care. But yeah, hiring sooner. We started small. So I was doing small orders. And we used to have a type of printing method where I could do just 1 or 2 shirts, but I was finding that like I was spending the same amount of time on those orders as I was and the same amount of communication time for orders that were, 144 plus pieces. And really what
Right.
was happening is we were doing like a lower quality print method for the single shirt people. They were bringing that example to their bosses, and I was getting those bigger orders from like their friends' businesses or whatever from it. But I really just, we were so like keyed in on like the quality of what we were printing with like screen printing that we didn't like that people could see the DTG versus and not getting like true screen printing. So we sold our DTG machine right as like now if you post on Facebook,
DTG is direct to garment, right? Or
direct
something
to
like that?
garment.
Yeah.
So we had a big, like, it was like a $15,000 printer. It was not like a low, it was like one of the best ones you could get. And it could print like a white underbase. It looked great, but at the end of the day, it wasn't screen printing. And that's really like where we wanted to be. And we had all the same equipment for it. It's just you didn't want to print one shirt screen printed because you're burning screens. You're, doing ink and squeegees and all of the manual stuff that goes into it. When the DTG, you're just spraying the shirt and then loading it. It prints it. It's not any like setup really. So it was easy, but it was the communication that was like just I was spending hours with people because most of the time it was like for a birthday or I'm creating something from scratch or something like that. So definitely, finding we
And so
still have
then
low minimums.
did that cause you guys to kind of like, if I'm hearing you correctly, then you kind of switched into more of like just doing
We put a
high number?
24 piece minimum and literally sold our machine. And the next year, I think we doubled our sales by like 150% because my time was spent from like really going back and forth with people for 1 to 2 shirts to, you know, handling that same communication on people that were at least doing a 24 piece order. And so
Right.
it helped the sales a lot. We would still, indiscretion, like if someone needed 10 shirts, like we would say yes. I still say yes. Sometimes I have to, it's just one of those things. Some of the people that have been with us since 2019, am I printing 10 shirts on press? Yes. Um,
Right.
but sometimes, it's just easier to say no. And I recommend other shops nearby that do cater to that. If I would have had a person back in 2019 that just handled the communication for small stuff, it probably would have worked. But really, we just we we blew up on this. So, and that's what we wanted because that's screen printing is king. Like I think all of the different types of processes are going to die, and screen printing is going to outlive it, like it has, now. I mean, all of the different heat press ones are just at the end of the day they don't hold up to screen printing. So
Right.
I'm glad that we're still doing what we wanted to do. So instead of
That's
taking a
awesome.
step back.
And so what's something that looking back, obviously success is never really linear, right? We've talked a
Hmm.
little bit of like the ups and downs during COVID or something like that.
Yeah.
But success is never linear. So what maybe talk to me about some of the your favorite failures. And by that I mean things that maybe didn't work out in the moment, the things that you kind of in the moment were failures, but later on you realized, man, thank God that actually happened because
Yeah.
it set us up for X, Y, or Z, and I'm really thankful for that today.
Gosh. I mean, we've always had like, you print the wrong thing on the wrong thing, or print the wrong color and you get someone that's upset about it. Luckily, I haven't been like some shops that I see that will print like $5,000 worth of garments incorrectly, or, we haven't had anything that bad, but we've definitely had, like runs of 100 that we've had to like just reorder the shirts. And so there's always those kind of things, shit happens every day in the shop. And we're dealing with presses that you're using adhesive, so things can lift. There's all like we always tell people you have to order extra, and then it's always those people that you tell that something happens and they didn't order extra. So it's like,
That something happens.
yeah, it's always something, especially like when you're a small business owner. It is always freaking something. We have to replace our pressure washer like every, I don't know, it feels like every 4 months. Like it just goes out. The AC goes down, just something all the time. It's something all the time. Like it almost feels like you can never catch a break as a small business owner. And I'm sure a lot of people relate to that. Like it is not perfect all the time. We have damages every day. Like sometimes the vibe will be down, but then most of the time we're printing stuff that we like doing, or we're printing something for someone that we enjoy talking to when they come in the shop or appreciate what we do. And that makes a big, big difference. But I'm trying to think. Like I said, my husband and I have always been extremely lucky, like just in the way that it always works out. It seems like, oh my gosh, we lost this person that's not doing this event this year. Or, we had this client doing 10,000 pieces and they moved it to China. Like, we had a client literally last year that was with us since like 2020. They got dropped by a big shop in Nashville that was, it was right before COVID. They were doing all of the tour industry, like musicians and stuff. And then when COVID hit and all of those places died, they like dropped, a lot of their production time. I don't know, but somehow it ended up in our lap, and we were doing 10 to 15,000 pieces every month.
Wow.
I mean, that's my payroll, that's my bills. Like that one client was paying for my business, like, and then we became super profitable and we grew with them. And then they just literally this year switched everything to Pakistan or China or something to save costs. So, and we didn't raise our prices on them in 5 years. Everything else in the world has went up, but really at the end of the day, so like that's something, that we lost that client that was doing that revenue, like, and that's a big hit. So that's something, but really it's been a blessing in disguise because we used to have to take 5 to 6 days of our like press time, and now we're doing orders and tripling that, so it's like that really hurt for a minute, and then it became a blessing in disguise because now we're
Right.
getting more consistent like touring artists and stuff like that. But I guess that would be a good example of like
Yeah.
nothing's
No,
permanent.
and probably also, when you step out and you look at it from like a business standpoint, also slightly a tough lesson, but slightly better at the end in terms of not having so many of your eggs in one basket, right? Like if you're
Yeah,
like you have a little bit less risk dividing up your revenue across different
yeah,
clients than having such a big bulk be concentrated in
yeah.
one, no?
That's one big thing that's like opened my eyes. Like we do have a few like big strong clients, and like if they were to leave it would be like an oh shit, like, but again it's like if you can use that time to really, you know focus on getting new customers. That's been my biggest thing. I haven't done interviews, I haven't been out at social events, I haven't been posting. I go ghost when I'm so busy. Like I don't post on social media. I don't have time to get more business. And that hurts. Like, and then of course I went through a major burnout like the past year. I had a baby, so that was another thing. I have a 2-year-old. He just turned 2. I think I'm insane for opening a second business with
I
a
was gonna
very
say
busy
it sounds
business
like I
and
was
then a
gonna touch on that
2-year-old.
in a second. I was gonna be like, well, you must be some sort of masochist. Like you have a 2 year old. What?
Dude, I don't know. I think I'm literally insane. I probably am. I probably am.
So
Um,
how does all of that come about? Like how do you go from merchandise and t-shirts and printing and all of that to plant shop?
so we have 2 units in this strip, and then we told our same landlord from our old location that we were at for 5 years when we moved here, we wanted first dibs on either side that came available because we needed more room. Like we only doubled our size when we moved, and we really needed like 3 times, but like there was only two. This place had 3-phase power. And so it was the same landlord. He got us in quick. It was like, easy. Well, in February, we found out that the vape shop next door was becoming open. So we were like, of course, yes. We said yes immediately. Took a weekend, talked ourselves out of it. It sat available for like another week, and then the landlord said something else. And then I, obviously, being a small business owner, my brain is churning. Like, what can I do? Really, like my husband and I were just like, if we just have more room, it's not paying more, like we're not making more from it. We're just spending more on lease space. So we would need to add something, like maybe laser engraving or something that would generate income to cover that side, and a person that would be over there do, you know what I mean? Or we could knock out the wall, all of the things
Yeah.
that cost money. But then I was like, what if we got back into retail? Because we used to sell like holiday themed graphic tees at our old location. We had a little bit of retail.
Got it.
So I was like, what if we just do our retail and have it separate so there's no distractions in here for retail traffic? And so we were like, yes. And then I was like, we could also do plants, because if you saw my shop, like our old one, like 6 years ago, I went through my crazy plant person era and had like it looked like a plant shop, but really it did. And so I would water my stuff outside. People would pull up and like, is this for sale? I'd be like, no, these are my children, don't touch them. uh so that's like kind of how it came to be, and it turned into like what I was telling people, like maybe 30% plants to like 80% plants, and then the rest are shirts and crystals. And then my husband and I pour our own candles. That gives us something to do together, because we both, like, we were just like head in the game for like 7 years, hustling through everything, growing our business, that we like barely saw each other. Even though we're here all day together, we don't see each other. It's like a big thing. And I feel like a lot of, small businesses are going to watch this and relate to like those things that I am saying, that it's always something. You don't see your partner, even if you're doing it together. It's just like you don't make time for yourself, and we still don't. Like it's crazy. And
Yeah,
then we
that,
have
that
the
that's a thing because you can be next to each other for so long, working on something, yet not be with each other, and that can
yeah,
also, and that unfortunately that can sometimes show up many, many, many years down the line, and you realize that,
yeah,
oh man, we lost a lot of time.
we did.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's been 7 years of like, we wake up, get ready, come to the shop, work all day. It's like, and then now we have a 2 year old. So we used to like go home, we would watch TV, do whatever, get dinner. But now it's like, give a baby a bath, do this, get him to sleep. Like we haven't watched a movie together, and I don't know how long. It's been months, like we don't have a support system either. Like we don't have
Mm.
a big family. My husband has his grandmother, but she is 87, so she can't keep up, with a 2 year old all the time. So it's just, we rely on his school to get us through the day. And then, we spend every other chance we can with him. He's here today, with us because he is talking now, and he's like, I want to work with Dada. So my husband is dealing with a two
Showing him
year
the
old as well.
ropes. Showing him the ropes. He's gonna.
Oh yeah, he's been in here like the first year I was like wearing him, catching shirts and all of that. But it's been cool. Like several of my people have been here since he was born. So like he literally has like three family members in our shop. So when he is here, everybody's like playing with him, and
He's
he's
like your
very
little
smart for
mascot.
his
He's a
age.
he's a
Yeah.
little wildfire mascot. So
Oh yeah. He's gonna be out printing these guys eventually.
love it. So you
Yeah.
kind of mentioned a little earlier. You mentioned of the advice that you sometimes end up giving a lot of people as they're coming through. Maybe they're a new startup or something like that.
Yeah.
It's thinking what are a couple of pieces of advice that you got early on that you would say, man, thank God I got this piece of advice because it really shaped the direction that we're going in.
Gosh. That's a tricky one. I don't, like I said, I don't go to other events. I don't talk to anybody. Um, I don't know. I think really one piece of advice that I kept hearing that I didn't take like serious in my industry is automating your equipment. Like, we did everything by hand for so long, like that if which one it was kind of, again, we got lucky. We didn't, finance any equipment. When we first started our business, we did not finance a single thing. My husband had worked for the same company for 17 years. We had the savings. We sold some land that he had, and we invested like, I think it was like $80,000, like fully into our business and to the best equipment. We didn't start off with some Amazon presses. Like we bought the best that you could get, the biggest, best for manual printing. And that's like what we did. Didn't finance anything. The second time when we were ready to automate, that's one piece of advice that I like, would give to somebody is if you don't really necessarily need to finance, I wouldn't, because I'm still paying on this dryer and I'm paying like 2 times what it's worth. It's kind of like a car, as soon as you drive it
Yeah.
off the lot, like this, we could buy this in cash today, but I'm still paying payments on it because if I paid off early, you get the penalized.
Right.
It's just like, you live and you learn. Like, so definitely one piece of advice, when we automated, our business tripled in sales because like we were spending all the time like, doing things by hand that we were then able to do in hours. It took a lot off of my husband physically. I mean, you're still there loading shirts and unloading shirts, but that's one piece of advice. Another advice is hiring. Like we try to like, adding another person, that's a whole salary that you're taking care of. It's like scary. Like it's scary when things aren't coming in, you're not getting enough emails. You're like, oh my God. Like some people wait until it's too late to like and that's why you see a lot of shops like close instantly because they've run out of money. I want to be able to see 5 months from now, if I see that,
Right.
we kind of go into panic, tighten it up, like luckily we like, but that's one piece of advice is hiring. You can't do it all as much as you want to. You can't. So when we first hired our shirt catcher, it relieved me to be able to, post content, get content, and that kind of stuff. So that's one piece of advice that I guess we finally did. We took too long to really take it. So that's one thing I tell people that have been in business for at least a year. If you're like finding that like you're doing something 90% of your day, find someone that's even part-time to help you do half of it. They might
And
not be as
especially,
good as you or as fast as you, but they can
right.
get there if it's the right person. You have to
And
find. We found a few unicorns, so I've been lucky in that way too. So
yeah, and especially if the things that, that you're doing are keeping you from doing the business development side of things, of like getting new clients or anything, then that can lead to the, and this is very common in small businesses that or especially like solopreneurs, right? Like they get busy, 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 and then they don't have time to develop new business. So then they go through the peaks and valleys of like,
yeah.
well,
And
they
I
were
think
so
that's where
busy.
I am right now. Honestly, I took my foot off the gas over here. I'm putting it over there. That business is overperforming this business right now
Yeah.
because all of my time and my heart and my soul is over there. And so
Right.
now I've
And so
just
then you
been,
go through the peaks and valleys of like, well, you're so busy, you're not business developing. So then when that goes away, then now you're back. Now you have the time, so you start get drumming up business, and then now you get busy, and then but I feel
yeah,
like you have to figure out a way of keeping at least minimum payments on making minimum payments on business development side of things. And that might be through the way of freeing up some time
yeah,
on your day calendar, figuring out what are the things that are, yeah, you're better off having somebody who's maybe not going to do it at 100% the level that you're going to do it, but maybe 80%, 90%. That's good
yeah,
enough because it's going to free
for
you
sure.
up to do this thing that nobody else can do, which is the
For
business
sure.
development side of things or something like that. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So that's
Um,
definitely one big thing that people don't listen to is like, don't try to do it all yourself, especially if you have the funds or have someone part time that can really help you drum up more business. That's the
yeah.
most important thing. So,
So
and don't
as
get into bad financing.
yes,
I mean, we didn't get like a bad
going in
financing.
debt is just not a good thing all around. So the more you can do cash, the better.
Yeah, for
So as
sure.
you're seeing Middle Tennessee growing, obviously the show is 615 Unplugged, so it's all about Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. As you're seeing the area grow, evolve, everything, um, how are you seeing that evolve? Like, how are you excited about the growth? Are there things that worry you? What's your perspective on how Middle Tennessee is growing?
I mean, I don't mind if someone's moving here from California. I don't understand the whole we're full. It makes no sense. At the end of the day, people are going to widen roads. People like, do I hate seeing deer everywhere? Yes, it makes me so sad that I see deer
Yeah.
crossing like streets that, we're taking up a lot. There's a lot of things like, should they widen Division Street? Probably. I don't think they should because it's not really affecting anything, like if it takes people an extra 5 minutes to get to work, so be it, get up 5 minutes early. But building more houses and stuff like that, it's going to happen no matter what. It doesn't bother me. It excites me that like I love Mount Juliet. I think their police department's one of the best response times. It's safe. I feel like they have like the speeding situation. They like scare people. Like I feel like everybody goes the speed limit in Mount Juliet because they know they'll get you. Like and they're doing it right. Like so I love Mount Juliet. We live in Lebanon, but I think we're looking in like Old Hickory, Mount Juliet, just because we love the area. The side where we are, I think, is exploding because they are bringing stuff instead of Providence. Now it's kind of where they just built Andy's and they're building Dutch Bros and they built Chipotle over here. This side is like blowing up and it excites me. Like it excited me that they put a bar and grill in this strip. More businesses staying open past 9 o'clock. Like I love that. I don't ever go downtown to Nashville, but I like having cool businesses. That's really why I wanted to, do the plant store, because it's just like I feel like there's so many cool people, creative people coming from everywhere here, and I just wanted that, to be open for them. But yeah,
What are some
I
things that, if it were 100% up to you, what's something that you wish, as Middle Tennessee keeps on growing, that we don't lose? And what's something that you, if it were 100% up to you, you would want to change?
oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. Um, what would I want to change?
And one thing that you would want to make sure that we don't lose, that we keep, that doesn't change, and one thing that you wouldn't mind seeing change.
Gosh, I don't know. I definitely think keeping some of our roads that are like, beautiful and don't need to be widened, some houses with some good sized land. I think that's one thing, is like keeping houses with some property. I feel like everything doesn't need to be like on half-acre lots, or what is it? I don't even know, a quarter of an
Quarter
acre.
acre, yeah, like
Yeah, where you can
developments. Yeah.
literally high five your neighbor through the window. I hate that. I think we should keep some of those like bigger houses. I think we should stop selling some of the nicer land lots and then building. That's one thing I would agree on. But like keeping, but I think apartment buildings somewhere are fine. I think it's needed. People want to live here as long as they're not like devaluing the town and how pretty it actually is, and how
Yeah.
there still is the small vibe, like small town vibes in Mount Juliet and Lebanon. You recognize people when you're in the grocery stores, but I think like being ugly to people moving here makes no sense to me at all. But yeah, I guess that would be something I don't want to lose, is like the small town vibe, because I do know so many small business owners. I guess I wouldn't like to see that. I wouldn't like to see some like Margaritavilles or something like that come
Right.
here, but like
Right.
everything that I'm seeing, like I just saw that there's some like big indoor franchise, like what is it? It's going by the Academy. They just broke ground or something. That's cool and needed. It's not an arcade, or maybe they did say there's going to be an arcade, but it's like a huge indoor like fun spot if you've been to Orlando. It's like that coming
Yeah.
to Mount Juliet near Walmart. I
Okay.
think that's needed. It's a big franchise, but I think it's needed, but
Right.
I think keeping that small town vibe. I mean, and that's really like what I'm excited about the plant store, because it's like building like a little community of people,
Love it.
And same
Love
way
it.
with this business, is just like I said, I want to find my niche of people, and I don't want to be their printer. I just want to, or I want to be their printer, but I don't want it to be like just cold, like a cold relationship, like because we do care,
Yeah,
like
you might, and I'm sure this has happened to you. You end up like printing some shirts for a concert or something like that. You end up going to the concert yourself because you're like, oh, this is cool. I'll go check it out. And
yeah,
then, yeah,
yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
it. All right, so I'm doing something on every episode that is called 615 Rapid Fire. So just a couple quick questions about Middle Tennessee living, and then you tell me the first thing that comes to mind, okay?
Okay,
So you get a billboard on I-65 for 1 full year.
okay.
What does it say?
Need better merch with a big
O-
question mark, and then my
Okay.
logo or my website.
All
That's what
right.
it would be.
Describe your idea of a perfect day in Middle Tennessee.
Gosh, when it's like cool weather, 68 degrees, zoo day, you know, go out, eat some lunch at a park or something, I think would be a good day. Not going to Nashville. just
Okay.
just the zoo, enjoying the weather outdoor. If the Wilson County Fair was 68 degrees when they had it, that would be the perfect day probably.
Okay. Wilson. Okay, got it. Favorite food spot and dish.
Gosh, the Rack and Tap place that just opened in my strip, that burger that I had was the best burger I've ever had in my life. It's a bunch of young guys that just opened there, and I was floored. And then also the Cinco in here has the best chicken and rice. So I would say the Cinco in the strip. I think a lot of people know about Cinco, but the one here in our plaza, is the best out of all of them. I've
Okay.
tried them. I've tried every
And you said the
Mexican
first
restaurant.
one, what was the name of the first one? Rack and Tap?
Rack and Tap, they just opened. They're still waiting on their liquor license, but they're open late. So like they have pool tables and it's like they're gonna have live music soon. But they just opened and that food, it's fresh. It's not like I didn't know what to expect. I just went down there. It was so good. So definitely that place. And Cinco, they're just our
Okay.
go-tos. Like they're so good, so good. I can eat their chicken and rice every single day for the rest of my life, and I'd be fine.
Love
Literally.
it. And then finally, any other businesses, people, stories, anything else that that you want to show a little bit of love to that you think I should have on the show?
Um, Gosh, I know so many good ones because we do get lucky with the people that we work with. Ready Teddies, they just a couple that used to be a customer of ours like 5 years ago just purchased Ready Teddies. It's a coffee shop near Dairy Queen on Mount Juliet Road. They just bought that company out. So they're redoing that whole store. That's a good one. They do have their like locals, but they do need more traction. They deserve it. It's a really good brand. The people that owned it before we printed for, they were great people. So I definitely think those guys. Another small business that I've seen, they were my old neighbors. It's the Nido Indoor Play Place. They're on Lebanon Road. They have a really good community. That's a good one. Yeah, Nido Indoor Playground. That's a really good one. Needham's Nursery has been so supportive of me. They do all outdoor plants. They don't do indoor. So like they've been coming in here and purchasing indoor plants from me and sending people. So I definitely this year, especially in springtime, I'm going to send a lot of people down there. Needham's has been one of like every kind of big event that you see in Middle Tennessee, they are sponsoring. They put so much money back into the community. So that's
That's
a
cool.
really good one. The scales have been in Mount Juliet for, I think, 50 something years or maybe, I don't know. But they've been here a very long time and they are always like the fireworks shows that you see, like they're like the ones sponsoring.
Right.
So I would do Needham's, Nido, Ready Teddy's, but there's so many. There's so many good success stories here in Mount Juliet and in Lebanon.
Love
But
it.
yeah, I'm excited to
Before
be
we
on
sign
here.
off, and you tell people how they can get a hold of you, where to follow you, all of that good stuff. Any parting thoughts, anything that we didn't touch on that you want to highlight, anything that you want to leave with the listeners?
No, I don't know. I've definitely, got deep in some points of like there is burnout, there is like things like that happen, and it happens in every business, especially like extremely fast growing businesses. But at the end of the day, like, a good rebrand, refresh, like adding another thing that like, sparks that interest again, like our graphic T wall and stuff like that, like has been amazing. I love the people that we're finding with our new name. If you want like high quality merch, someone's always going to come through for you. We're your people. My husband and I like are obsessed with what we do. We have a team now that has all been with us for years. They love what they do, and we're just like a big family. So if you want good vibes and you want even better merch, come see us. You can reach out to us at hello@wildfiremerch.com, or just go to wildfiremerch.com and go on our quote page. And me or my lovely account manager, Myra, will help you find the perfect merch. We also have a showroom open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, that you can come in, see things getting printed in real life, and touch and feel things. If you're having second doubts that we're the right fit for you, that will seal the deal. So, yeah,
Love
I
it.
really appreciate you having me on. And I'm excited to see what you can do with your podcast. I definitely am so excited for you. I think it's needed to showcase the amazing places that are here in Mount Juliet, Lebanon, and surrounding counties. So, yeah,
100%, 100%. Julie, thank you so much. This was awesome.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Awesome.
You got it. Hey there. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone you think would find it interesting. Until next time, thank you for tuning in.